Hello, everyone, and welcome to metroTV. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. Today, we have a great show, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Barb Fairho. She is the Development Director for Youth Emergency Services. Barb, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So let's just first, Youth Emergency Services has been around for 45 years, helping youth in our community. So why don't you just, tell us what is, as we short for YES, we call it YES, and how are you impacting the youth, and what are your, who do you serve in this community?
Sure. So Youth Emergency Services, or as you said, a lot of people know us as YES, was founded in 1974. So here we are 45 years later, and we're still helping youth and doing whatever we can to address the needs of youth who are experiencing homelessness or near homelessness in our community. And we're the only organization that is in the metro area that is solely focused on serving this particular population.
Yeah.
So the mission is to, help these youth by providing critical resources that help them to eventually become self-sufficient. That's our goal.
And I know when I had a conversation, it's been years ago, but I think that the question too is how have things changed? Is there a greater need now? I would think so than there was 45 years ago.
Yeah, I think over the years, needs have changed.
Sure.
As they have for everyone. Different things have impacted youth in different circumstances. And so we're continually evolving as an organization to address those needs.
Yeah.
And a good example of one of the things that we've done in recent years is we partnered with the Women's Center for Advancement to develop a program, an anti-trafficking program. So this is something maybe that wasn't seen in 1974 when we were founded, but it's a real concern now. So something that, a new program that was implemented to address a new need.
Yeah, like adapting for any nonprofit, but specifically for YES, you have to keep doing that all the time. And speaking of adapting, let's just kind of dive into COVID-19 and how has that impacted the organization?
Great question. And that, of course, is the new challenge that we're all having to adapt to, not just Youth Emergency Services, but I think most nonprofits and really the population in general. It's challenging to try to, we're providing direct care. So we had to kind of reevaluate everything on how we deliver service and still, because these are youth that are vulnerable to begin with, and this is just further impacting them. So we need to adjust, put protocols in place that not only keep the youth and staff safe, but also the overall community. So that's been a challenge, and we have also had the challenge from the administrative side with having to cancel events or postpone events. And, not everyone's able to give at the same level that they were able to give in the past.
Right.
So, we're addressing all of those challenges and doing the best that we can. But I think we have an amazing staff that steps up and works togetger to solve problems.
Absolutely. And so, one of the reasons that we're here chatting too is that in January of every year, Metro Magazine has this big celebration, and we're celebrating the giving spirit of the community. And we ask people to vote for their favorite nonprofit, favorite charity event, and Dance for a Chance, which is one of my favorites. Actually won this year. We call it the Big Connection. So it not only won the category, was it under 300 or over 500? I can't.
I think it was the over. Yes.
Okay, over 500. That's what I thought. Yeah. And you won that category, but then you won overall. And I'm honored to say I've been a judge at that event many times. That one again, the big connection. But this year, with COVID-19, as we were talking before the interview, is that's one event that had to be canceled. So talk just a little bit about that. And I know everybody was just so disappointed, but yeah.
Yeah, we were devastated. It's something that the whole community looks forward to. We love. It's a fun event. I put on a lot of different events throughout my career, and this is one of the most fun ever. And it's particularly challenging because we start months ahead of time because we have volunteer dancers who are amazing and give more than most volunteers because they're not only, giving their time, but they're learning a new dance and they're putting themselves in the spotlight. So we have these amazing volunteers and we have these amazing professional dance instructors that donate their time and energy, and they have to start practicing months and months before the event. And we just, we ultimately decided, we kept thinking how we could maybe have a virtual event, or, we could still have people dance, but then we not have an event for 500 people.
Yes.
But the issue is dancing is really contrary to almost every social distancing recommendation out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we, their safety, the safety of our volunteers was of utmost priority. So we ended up canceling. Our event is scheduled for August 5th of next year.
Okay.
We can make that happen. But anyway, it was a hard decision, but the best decision. And
So, all right. So you had to, you canceled this Dance for a Chance this year. It'll be next year. But what are ways that people can contribute? I mean, we know the financial piece, and that's very important, very important. But are there other ways that people can give back to your organization?
Yes, there are. So we partner with Tip Top Thrift Shop in Benson.
Okay.
And their proceeds come to Yes, and our youth are able to shop for things at free of charge at the Tip Top. And so they're always in need of volunteers. So, and there's a way to sign up on our on Youth Emergency Services website, yesomaha.org. And so that's one way, because we need volunteers to help at Tip Top. We have an Amazon wish list on our website.
Okay.
That's another way. Of course, monetary donations, like you mentioned, are always very, very helpful. And then I would say stay connected. Through all of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And that's a really good way to find out what our current needs are, because they're evolving and changing on a regular basis, especially now with COVID. One other thing that people can do, and they can sign up on our website as well, is provide meals for our street outreach center.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of new things like mobile pantry and things that are the result of the pandemic. But we're also still serving youth at our street outreach center that's on 26th and Harney Street.
Yeah.
And so we used to have community groups and churches and different community organizations that would put together meals and bring them in. We can't do that right now because of COVID. We're asking for only catered meals.
Okay, got it.
So it's a little bit different, but if people would want to provide a catered meal, that would be fantastic. We're always looking for that help.
Yeah. And I feel too that also you're supporting a local business, caterer, pizza place, I mean, whatever it may be, and then providing a meal. So yeah, so important. Well, we've just actually got a few seconds left. So website that people can go to find out more information.
Yes, yesomaha.org is our website.
Okay.
That would, and there's tabs like get involved, and volunteer is where you would go for meals and Tip Top sign up, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, Barb, thank you so much. It's good to chat with you. Again, everyone encouraged to follow Yes on social media, because you get lots of great updates. And you know what? We're going to get through this together. But I know organizations like you helping those in need, it's just so important, because that does not stop at all.
Right. And we truly appreciate your help in getting our word out, especially as a smaller organization. It's just extremely valuable in helping share our mission and our story. So we thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. And thank you. and we will be right back, everyone. Well, hello, everyone. I'm here with Lindsay Ray Corton. She is the Executive Director for the Ronald McDonald House Charities, and Emily Mosier. Sorry, I'm looking over here at my notes, Events and Volunteer Director. Lindsay, Emily, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you guys have this new exciting event coming up, but let's first just talk about Ronald McDonald House Charities. Lindsay, I'll let you take that one and tell us, who do you serve?
Sure. So, great question. We are solely focused on children and their families, but the children they're critically ill and can't get the care that they need in their hometown, which could be literally anywhere else in the world, and they have to come to one of our dynamic hospitals in Omaha to get treatment. And so while they're getting treated over there, we kind of consider ourselves as the place where they come to heal. So it's a home where we can serve up to 40 families. Now, again, that's all pre-COVID stuff.
Sure.
So the reinstatement we're in the midst of and things like that. But that's just very basic explanation of what we do. But in addition to that, we provide a variety of different programs that, in our opinion, can help manipulate just how quickly they can heal through the social determinants and the things like that we're able to provide here.
Sure.
As a partner to the hospital.
Well, speaking of COVID, how has that impacted your organization?
You know, it's really interesting. On its surface, just like everyone else, you know, we normally have 2,600 volunteers, almost all of which have not been able to participate in the same way. But you know what, Andy, the truth is these families, this is what they go through the moment they get diagnosed. So
Yeah.
This is the world that all of these families have been living in since that diagnosis. The only difference between our families is that the rest of the world understands what they're going through. So we feel even more so that we've got a critical role in the lives of these families to make sure that they feel even more normal when there's this extra set of circumstances that suggest that everything is abnormal. So, so again, like our role is to create normalcy in an abnormal situation, but now it's not, I mean, these families, it's the same as everyone else. Can I get my hair cut? Can I get my nails done? Can I go to the grocery store? That person just coughed on my child. They're dealing with that all the time. So how has it affected them? It's just heightened their awareness, but they've already been wearing masks and they've already been quarantining. This is their life as is.
Right. And I know there are, we talked several months ago, I think it was back in March, about people wanting to help your organization. And one of the big things we talked about, it was typically you'd have people come in and cook the meals, and that can't happen right now. So people are talking to restaurants and caterers to provide meals, which is a big thing for you. I mean, these families need to eat, and yeah.
Right. And you know what? And kudos to you, Andy, because as soon as we started talking about that, it was less than 24 hours that you had made the commitment to come and be a part of that team that was going to come and help serve meals for the families, and you got it catered and brought it in and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the purpose around that program is twofold. One, we know that the meal, it's more than just nutrition. It's what brings people to the table 6 feet apart from each other so they can connect. But also, we are very much a part of this community, and we all thrive because of each other. So if we can promote commerce through the restaurants and have it benefit the families, then it's just this beautiful marriage, and that's what Omaha is all about. And so the dinner group program suggests all of those things.
Right. And one of the things that helps your organization tremendously are events that happen every year. And Wings and Wheels has traditionally been that event that happens in September, but you're doing something different this year. And I believe it's virtual, which a lot of nonprofits are going virtual. So Emily,
yeah,
it's all yours. Take it away.
Oh, and I've got props here too. Yeah, we're really excited about this because although we're really sad that we won't be able to see all of our, normal donors and guests in person this year, this just creates such an awesome opportunity to kind of explore new opportunities of how we can connect with people, and not just with people here in Omaha, but across the state of Nebraska that have really rallied around the house during this time and rallied around our families. And so we're excited to just connect with people that way. So yes, our virtual event, it's going to still take place on the same night as Wings and Wheels, so that would be Friday, September 11th. Yeah, it'll be virtual. We're going to have dueling pianos, which is very exciting. So it's just going to be a really fun way to engage with everybody. So if you jump in and make a little donation, and then you can put in your song request, and they'll play it
Awesome.
for you.
Yeah, and that's a really good. I'm glad that you mentioned the dueling pianos, because that's like one of the things that we kind of struggled with. Do you do this live, or do you do everything pre-recorded? And we just thought, let's just go live. That's when we do the best.
Yeah.
That's when, fun things tend to happen. And dueling pianos, then everyone can participate. So it'll be live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we'll still have some of the components, we'll still have some of the raffle and auction things, things that you look for in those in-person galas. We didn't want to lose the essence of what our gala brings to us as far as fundraising. So that's still an important piece, but like I said, it's just a fun opportunity to explore new things.
Absolutely. So if people want to go to light up the night, where do they go to buy tickets?
Yes, it is. Go to our website, so rmhpomaha.org, and then under events, it's called Light Up the Night. So you'll be able to find it there.
So September 11th, I will be there. I will be there.
Right.
I can't wait.
What are you going to request?
I don't know. Let me think about that. I didn't even know about the dueling piano. So yeah. So, well, ladies, this went fast, but you guys are doing such a great job in the community. These families, these kids, you're providing so much, and I know they're grateful, and we're grateful. I'm grateful for you as well. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Andy.
you, Andy.
Take care.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm here with Justin Dougherty. He is the Executive Director for Autism Action Partnership. Justin, thank you for joining me today.
It's great to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, we did this about a year ago, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Except we were in a studio.
My, how things have changed.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's just talk about Autism Action Partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your organization and who do you serve?
We're a statewide organization here in Nebraska. We're trickling a little bit into Council Bluffs, I'm proud to say. I'm working towards expanding our reach a little bit and serving more families. But the primary focus of our work, obviously, is serving individuals with autism and their families, both directly and indirectly through programming in a variety of different sectors, schools and employment, work, places like that. We also are beginning to expand our focus more on the greater community, the businesses, and the environment in which the autism community lives and plays and works.
Sure.
Trying to work more with that group of individuals who either intentionally or unintentionally are without knowing serving the autism community, and maybe could be doing more, better, or different to create a better reality for the families that we are targeting.
Absolutely. Well, you have an event coming up, so we're going to wait till more towards the end of the interview. But I do let's talk about COVID-19, because every nonprofit is being impacted.
Right.
So let's just talk about what's going on in your world.
Mm-hmm. Well, so speaking on behalf of the families and the individuals that we directly serve, the autism community, if I may. So as we all know, March-ish, schools closed somewhat abruptly, and families were left to figure out how to become, we hear all the stories about parents trying to figure out how to become teachers, as well as everything else they're doing.
Yeah.
with autism community, we have families who are trying to be speech pathologists, therapists, behavior therapists, and all sorts, and a variety of other professions within that. So immediately we saw families across the country, everywhere, trying to figure out what the new norm was going to be. And then our phones began to ring as families began to ask us for opportunities for resources. Then fast forward a few more weeks, a few more months, as employment started kind of going down and people started getting laid off or furloughed, then there was questions about insurance and families not having insurance or having the funds to do things. So our response kind of built upon a few building blocks, but immediately we were able to leverage a few of our resources as well as fundraising for a pandemic response, i.e. get awards, financial awards to families as quickly as possible who are in crisis. So that's kind of giving people the fish, if I may. So then we also then immediately began, so some of those requests were coming in, we started hearing from families saying they don't have sensory items at home. They might know what to do from the therapies that their children were attending and experiencing, but they don't have the resources to do that, or they don't even know where to begin because the school officials, the speech pathologists, they were implementing those things at school, and they're beginning to see regression at home from their children. So milestones that were met, there's now starting to be regression. So in the last 3 months here, we've been focusing all of our attention on what we call our activity kits. So we worked with professionals across the country to develop what we thought was a kit that had a variety of things, both fun as well as could be used for learning and for therapy. And we have been creating those. We are finalizing this week our 1,050. We have 3 different colors, so it had to be divisible by 3. And we're getting those across the state of Nebraska to families for free. It's about a $25 value of each of those kits. So we've kind of had to adjust, and we've been incredibly busy. And we've gotten about 600 of those kits already out the door to families, and are getting wonderful feedback, kind of bringing as much as we can into the homes of families.
Yeah. You know, you have something called the AAP Guild.
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about that, because one of the pieces that does that have, so the 150 activity kits, and I'm sorry, you sent me some information here, so I'm looking kind of back and forth at the notes. So they have been a huge help with that project. Also,
Indeed.
And I know Warner Enterprises is just a really great corporate partner.
Oh, they're fantastic. So yeah, our guild is our volunteer core. So largely parents of individuals with autism, but also some professionals that work in the field that want to engage in a different way with the community. So these kits, we have to buy a whole bunch of items and then have them sorted and counted, and then bags assembled and then bags delivered. So it's been a Herculean task that we absolutely could not have done with staff that we have. And so our guild took ownership of the project, helped us once we got things in the office. They came up and sorted a variety of things, assembled the kits, and then same Warner Warner Enterprises, they have a Blue Brigade, which is their volunteer corps for their employers, and they did the same thing. So we brought a bunch of supplies there, and they, in a matter of weeks or days, assembled kits that we were able to get out the door. And Warner even went a step further and helped deliver 300 kits from Omaha to Kearney, so we were able to get kits to families in the central of the state.
Wow. That's wonderful. And like I said earlier, you do have this event coming up. This is every year. It's called Vintage Affair. It's a wonderful event. What's going on this year?
Well, as of today, so we are going forward to have the event as our tradition has. So people in a room together, silent auction, live auction, dinner program, working very closely with our event planner and the location where we're having it at Embassy Suites to ensure that everything we're doing is following guidelines and best practices for the wellness and safety of our guests, and also creating a online virtual experience for individuals who aren't able or are unwilling to join us in person to be able to participate. So that's we're calling it a hybrid event. Many organizations are doing it. Also in the back of our head saying, as we monitor the situation, this might be completely virtual if
Sure.
need be. We aren't ignorant to the fact that there's a pandemic going on, and we want to do what's best, and we're not ignorant to that fact. So we're going ahead that way with the understanding that we might need to take a right turn here further down the road, and preparing for that as well.
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm excited because I know several nonprofits who are having, or having the Together event, and I think, but things change on a dime. So just having that mindset, we might just have to go virtual. But again, saying we're going to do this regardless of whether we're together or whether we're virtual or we're doing a little bit of both. So, okay, speaking of that, how can people buy tickets? Where do they go?
They can go to our website, Autism Action Partnership, autismaction.org. They can also go, and that's probably the best place to go to find a link to where to register online through GiveSmart, our platform. So they can do that. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the social media. We'll be putting content out a lot for that piece. But I think if nothing else, through this pandemic, we have realized the need, the impact of our work. We are maybe closer to where the rubber meets the road than we have as far as statewide. It's needed. There's the families that we serve are in a situation more so than they've maybe ever been, where they need any resource. So there's wind in our sails to make sure this is a successful fundraiser and that we're able to continue our mission and adapt and adjust and meet the needs of the families that we're trying to serve.
Yeah. Well, Justin, thank you so much for talking with me. I know they can find more information out on your website about giving back and this event and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate your time, and we're all in this together, and there's people out there that support you. There's people that maybe don't know who you are that want to support you. So we'll continue to get the word out about what you're doing, and just appreciate everything you're doing in the community.
And I absolutely appreciate the same. And for all the negativity out there, I continue to tell people, like, our cup is overflowing with the amount of love and support and wonderful stories we're hearing every day.
Yeah.
And experiencing, yes.
All right. Well, Justin, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.
Always a pleasure. Ditto.
Okay. Bye.